这个谁在做？我们在做。
And next, we have up on stage Mr. Teo Ser Luck.
张思乐先生。
Encik Teo Ser Luck.
Teo Ser Luck அவர்கள்.
And last but definitely not the least, we have Chi Yan.
张继贤，
Encik Teo Chi Yan. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you our People's Action Party candidates and special guest speakers. Big round of applause for our PAP candidates. Woo! We would like to invite our special guests and candidates to please kindly take your seat.
In Singapore, the government makes sure that you will get that care. What do I mean by that? As the population ages, most people will end up with the possibility of getting a heart attack or stroke. In Australia, if they think that you have a heart problem, they want to do a test for you to check your heart arteries, called an angiogram. They have a special list. The list can last as long as 6 months to 1 year. And the doctors have a special code word. It is called DOWL. Do you know what DOWL means? It means die on waiting list. But in Singapore, we don't have this kind of thing. You know, this doesn't exist. My patient who lives from Canada, he has severe heart disease. I told him to go for bypass. He says, no, I'm Canadian. Everything is free. 6 months later, his wife called, oh, he passed away while waiting for the bypass surgery. This will never happen in Singapore. So, we must be grateful that our government puts in all the systems to look after us. I tell you the story of my uncle. One day he had a stroke. I happened to be with him. He could not move half his body. He was almost totally unconscious. I followed him with the ambulance to the hospital. The doctors professionally quickly scanned his brain. They found a big clot that blocked half the brain. He would have died, but the doctor said, let's quickly give him medicine to dissolve the clot. 1 week later, he walked out of the hospital on his own. Today, not only can he work, he can play mahjong. That is the kind of medicine we want. It's not cheap medicine, but good medicine that the government ensure that you can afford. Government is putting in place this new insurance scheme to make sure that every single Singaporean is taken care of, whether you can afford or you cannot afford. So don't worry. Don't be deceived by all these things about cheap medicine. Cheap medicine can only be cheap if the patient dies. So please do not be deceived by the opposition. Housing. The opposition says that housing is expensive. But Singapore is one of the very few countries where more than 90% of our people own homes. And you can even buy a flat if your salary is not more than 1,000. Where else can you find this? Safety. Let me tell you, my patients tell me there are factories in the neighboring countries. They have a big factory with few hundred workers. They have a hostel for the workers just 50 meters away. But they have to have a bus to ferry the workers from the factory to the hostel and from hostel to the factory at night. Why? Because just walking across the 50 meters, the workers get robbed. They don't want to work. But in Singapore, our children, our family members can walk safely. Many of us Singaporeans go for holiday. We don't have to worry that people will break into our homes. My patient, who is also a Dato and Datin, they live in one of the most expensive areas in one of our neighboring countries. Beautiful house where the ministers live, the rich people live. They went for holiday, they left a guard there. The triad went up to the guard and says, I know where you live. The guard said, okay, thank you, bye-bye, went off. When they came back, not only the whole house was cleaned up for them, even the aircon, cables, wiring, everything disappeared. They call this human termites. Fortunately, in Singapore, we only have the small little termites, not human termites. So these are things that we take for granted, but this is things that the PAP government has made sure that we have. So I think it's important that while we like to complain, and we also do it among friends. One day, one of my friends reminded all of us, actually, we all have a good life. We all have a good life. We know that the PAP government can deliver and will deliver its promises. This election is especially important because all 89 seats are being contested. If we want to just to vote for the sake of giving the opposition some votes, then I think we may have problems for ourselves and our children. If you remember, opposition knows only how to say, please vote for more opposition members. But if you sit down and think about it, since 2011 till now, have they even done anything constructive in terms of policy for any Singaporeans? No, they have not done so. Really, they have not done anything useful except for saying, vote for more opposition. So fellow Singaporeans, vote for the party that will ensure the future of your children and your family. Vote for PAP.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lim. Next up, we would like to invite Ms. Penny Low.
Dear residents and friends of Sengkang West SMC, Punggol East SMC, and of course, our beloved Pasir Ris Punggol GRLC. How are you feeling tonight? I can hear you. Today, I consider myself one of the luckiest person on the face of earth. Because I could have been born into a place where whatever talents or lack of it that I might be born with, I could be stuck with it. The circumstances could have been a lot worse, and I could have ended up just trying to make ends meet every day, fetching water from a river a mile away to give it to my brothers and sisters so that I can keep them alive. But today, here I stand in this land where the MRT, LRT, bus services are there to help us, get us not just to work, not just to our homes, but also to our dreams. Our dreams of becoming a nation where people can get the best shot at education and can prosper in life and do the job that they desire. It is not something that is without struggle, but it is something that if we struggle, we can get to it, and therefore achieving our dreams and aspiration of becoming the best that we want to be. This does not come easy. This is also not a natural state. It is only through careful planning, hard work, and grit that Singapore and Singaporeans are able to live in a peaceful, stable environment where we can bring food home and also go on to become the person we want to become. This year, we have witnessed the loss of two great men. First, our beloved founding father of Singapore, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. Isn't he a great man? Yes. He's given us a lot. My full respect and admiration to him. And I've had the good opportunity of watching him, what he do, what he does, how he thinks from a very close distance. And I remember one day at a table where we were just discussing issues, he said that whoever comes stand on the slate of PAP needs not just only have the grit, but also the gut. Because he came from an era where he knew that if he turns a corner, he could have been stabbed or harmed by an opposition party. Those were 战乱时期, chaotic times. And therefore, he said he was prepared to sacrifice his life, and also because he knew that he had a better half in Mrs. Lee who could take care of the family should anything happen to him. Mrs. Lee provided him with the peace of mind and the sense that his children would be taken very well cared for if anything should happen to him, and therefore allowing him the peace of mind to go all the way for the peace, progress, and security of Singapore. In the same light, I consider myself married to my own country, Singapore. In a sense, all of us are. What kind of spouse do we want to have? What kind of marriage do we want to have? I think most of us would aspire this marriage to be one that will provide the safety, the security, and the peace of mind for us to go as far as we want to go to achieve our dreams. The collective dreams of Singapore is one that our people determines for ourselves. In Zhao Bao, in 2014, and I say this in Mandarin, 早报在2014年的时候有一则新闻，就一针见血地说明了各国政治的动态。他说，在香港人们推着政府走，在台湾人们拉着政府走，在新加坡政府抱着人民一起走。因为政府跟人民是手牵手、心连心，大家是一起走，所以我信任这个政府。Singapore's government does not abandon its people. It comes together with them and tries to achieve everything together. And that's why tonight you come here on your own free will. You came here not simply just to watch a show or a rally, but you came here to stand for what you believe in, to stand for what you want for your grannies, 爷爷、公公、婆婆、祖母, for your papa and mama's future, and most of all, for your own and your children's future. Therefore, I call on all of you today to come along with our candidates, our PAP candidates in this election, give them the strongest mandate so that they can then 跟大家一起走，一起走向光明大道，更好的未来，更好的前程。只有人民行动党能够达到这个，相信我们。So, thank you everyone for coming to this rally on behalf of all my candidates and especially DPM who has led this constituency for the last 19 years to forge a better future for everyone. Thank you very much. Majulah Singapura, Majulah PAP, Majulah Singapura, Majulah PAP, Majulah Singapura, Majulah PAP. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Penny Low. Thank you. And next, we would like to invite Mr. Charles Chong to address us. Mr. Chong, please.
Friends, my fellow Singaporeans. Now, first of all, I would like to thank the Pasir Ris Punggol team for inviting me to share the stage with them on this rally this evening. Now, it's always great to be back to Pasir Ris Punggol, even though I was fielded in Joo Chiat in 2011. Now, things have come a full circle because I'm now the PAP candidate for Punggol East SMC, just next door to all of you. In fact, some areas in Punggol East were under my care when I was part of Pasir Ris Punggol GRC team between 1997 to 2011. So some of the residents already know me, and I will do my best to meet as many others as I can over the next few days. Buangkok MRT station, just over here, is also of particular significance and sentimental value to my grassroots leaders and me. And I'm delighted to see that the area has developed into a bustling center that it is now. Now, during this election campaign, you will hear many conflicting stories from the contending parties about their programs and about their ability to deliver on their election promises. Now, some of these stories, instead of providing enlightenment and clarity, only adds to more confusion and controversy. Now, one of these stories, unfortunately, is about Aljunied Hougang Punggol East Town Council, or APEC. Now, a lot has already been said about this issue, and it is really not my intention to add more to the controversy. Now, the only point that I would like to make is that it is definitely not in the interests of our residents to have Punggol East to be in a town council that is embroiled with a dispute with MND over government grants, that is in dispute with its auditors and the Auditor General over the accuracy of its financial statements, in dispute with its former managing agent over the payment of fees, and the list goes on. It is also disconcerting that the key people in charge of the town council, instead of concentrating their efforts in finding solutions to get out of their difficulties, are instead finding excuses why they are unable to do a proper job. Now, Punggol East residents are not responsible for the messy situation that the Aljunied Hougang Punggol East Town Council is now in. It is therefore timely to get Punggol East out of APEC, to get our accounts in order, to remove any reason for MND to withhold government grants, and more importantly, to eliminate the possibility of any of our managing agents writing "owe money, pay money" on the wall of our town council office. Now, last night I listened very carefully to the rally speech delivered by the Workers' Party candidate for Punggol East. I agree that there must be empathy for the people we served. While Ms. Lee Li Lian has spoken about the need for empathy for low-income men who marry foreign wives, just this morning I came across 3 such cases in my block visits in Sengkang. In 2 of the 3 cases, the foreign wives managed to get PR status, while one was still appealing for his case with ICA. One case was particularly gratifying to me. The former Indonesian national, a food stall holder, told me that it was her husband who approached me for assistance years ago when I was his MP. Now, after several appeals, she obtained PR status and is now a proud Singaporean. While Ms. Lee Li Lian has called for empathy for men who marry foreign wives, I would like to call for empathy also for Singaporean mothers and children who are sometimes left without proper support when their men marry younger foreign wives. Now, they too need protection and assistance when it comes to families breaking up, especially the children who are usually left with the mothers. On Ms. Lee Li Lian's call for more appropriate assistance for stay-at-home mums, I'm aware that this issue has been raised by many MPs in Parliament and with the ministers directly well before 2011. Now, this is an issue that I can fully empathize with and support, as giving tax rebates to non-working mothers is really quite meaningless. It is also my wish that when the policy is eventually revised, as it should be, there won't be a mad scramble by those wanting to claim credit for it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the PAP does not play games. If we seek to win a constituency in a GE, it is because we firmly believe that we can improve the lives of residents. We are not using you as springboards for greater parliamentary representation. We are here to serve you. We do not put forward unrealistic, populist proposals just to win votes, but act with the best interests of Singapore and Singaporeans. In fact, we are the party that is honest with you and willing to make tough decisions for the good of Singapore. Now, this is something that you will not see in the other opposition parties. Now, does this cost us support? Does this cost us some votes? Yes, it does. But we are willing to do so because we believe we will always be acting in the best interest of the country. And we And if we do not get things right the first time, we are honest about it and we strive to put things right. Now, Singaporeans have put their trust in the PAP government for the past 50 years. Now, this has led a third world country to a first world country. Now, no opposition